I'm joined on this cold and very wet December morning by this BMW X5. But this is not a usual BMW X5. This one has an M badge on it. In 1972, BMW created their motorsport division to support their racing program and to also specially tune some of their road-going cars. They created some of the world's greatest drivers' cars, including the M3 and M5, and more recently, the M2 and M4. Okay, so to the untrained eye, it just looks like a standard BMW X5, and I quite like that. It's understated. It doesn't shout, "Oh, look at me and all the money that I've got." Classy. Third generation of BMW X5, launched in 2013, with the BMW X5 M being announced in late 2014. And there's a lot of car, but what you're really paying for is the engine. It's a 4.5 litre V8 twin turbo, producing 567 brake horsepower and over 550 pounds-foot of torque. All that power is delivered via an 8-speed automatic twin clutch gearbox, and of course BMW's clever 4-wheel drive system. Impressive stuff. For a 2.5 ton car, the performance figures are absolutely staggering. 0 to 60 comes up in a blink of 4.2 seconds, and it will go on to a limited top speed of 155 miles an hour. I read the other day that with the restriction removed, this car is capable of speeds of over 170 miles an hour in a 4x4. I mean, those numbers, that's up with Ferrari's best. That's as quick, if not a little bit quicker, than a Porsche Carrera S. Unbelievable. The way that this car delivers the power is nothing short of breathtaking. It doesn't matter what gear you're in, what revs you're at, or what speed you're doing. The power just seems absolutely endless. It's instantaneous and it's addictive. And then of course accelerating every time and making that pop and bang is also incredibly addictive, if not very juicy. The gearbox in manual mode, and it's even more impressive. It's as if you pull for a gear and the gearbox is reading your mind and it's already got it delivered ready, which is due largely to the twin clutch system. And when you do pull that gear with your foot near to the floor and hear that pop, my goodness me, it'll half bring a smile to your face. So it's quick, very quick. But does this handling support that much power and performance? Yeah, it does, and it does it very well. The handling and grip levels of this car are very, very impressive, and you'll lose your bottle a long time before the car will lose grip. Now, you might be expecting a car of this size and weight to have some serious body roll through the corners, but BMW beefed up the anti-roll bars, and the suspension is very good. It's got those 3 settings: the Comfort, the Sports and the Sports Plus, and between the 3, although there's not much difference, they're all pretty good. I've got the car in the hardest setting, or the firmest setting, and do you know what? Driving down these country lanes in the Sussex countryside, it's handling the road very well. Of course it does crash a little bit over particular bumps, but overall it smooths them out, and that gives more confidence when going through a set of corners. The grip levels and the suspension setup, the way the car goes through corners, it corners Sports Plus, the steering is quite nicely weighted, although the feel is reduced over traditional standard steering setups. But you point the car into the corner and it goes where you point it. I mean, this car is so good that it can lull you into a full sense of security, and you can very easily forget driving down country roads that you are in fact driving a car that weighs as much and is nearly the same size as a 4-bedroom detached house. That is not a massively comfortable feeling, considering you're driving a car that's worth nearly as much as a 4-bedroom detached house. To a certain extent, the car gives you so much confidence that it kind of feels uncrashable. You feel somewhat invincible right up until the point that you go into a corner a little bit hot, and your first stop is to the new pants shop. Them up, you go into a corner a little hot, that can catch you by surprise. But once you have run a couple of heat cycles through these lightweight 6-pops, they really do work. Ooh. Yeah. You turn everything back down into efficiency and comfort mode. The 8-speed gearbox makes this car waft along beautifully. It's really smooth. It's as if you can't even feel the gears changing, but tickle that throttle and it will give you exactly what you need to get yourself out of a tight spot. Sports car beating performance, the luxury and practicality of a range-topping BMW 4x4, and a car that effectively does it all. So what's the cost? Well, it's in line with its competitors, the Porsche Cayenne and the Range Rover SVR, with prices starting at a smidgen over £90,000. But start ticking and going crazy on the options list and they very quickly can escalate over the 110k mark. But in terms of performance for that money, I think it demonstrates quite good value for money. You get a lot of car for that. Is it economical? No. But then of course, you'd have to not be of sane mind to buy a car like this, or consider buying a car like this, if you're going to be concerned or worried about the MPG. Prepared to have deep pockets, as on the drive today, I've averaged 12 miles to the gallon. BMW's target market is quite small, meaning that residual values aren't great. Expect your car to lose anywhere between 30 to 40% of its value in the first year. But what that does mean is that the used car market, although there are limited numbers, is a real good way of picking up a bargain. You can pick up a car that's 12 months old with low mileage and a high spec for around about 65,000. I think that's quite cheap. I do really love this car. I like its versatility. It'll quite happily do the school run quietly and in a refined manner. But when you're on the way home after a long day in the office and you want to embarrass a Porsche, it's more than capable. That versatility kind of ticks all the boxes. Let's talk about the boring stuff, the cost of running. So we know it's got a big engine, we know it's really powerful, and we know it's very quick. kind of think that the performance of the car outweighs the miles to the gallon. I mean, I've been driving this car now for a little while relatively sensibly, and I'm currently getting 18 miles to the gallon, which I don't think is that bad. You start looking at the other running costs of the car, insurance, unless you're kind of nearly in your 50s and you've got a lot of years no claims and a clean driving licence, insurance can be a tad pricey. I had a quote at £4,500. I've been driving for quite a long time and I don't have a particularly bad driving record. So in summary, this car ticks all the boxes, and if you're looking for something large and refined that you can chuck the family in and the kitchen sink and go down to the south of France very quickly, then this car's for you. It's supercar beating performance on pretty much a budget. You get so much car for your money, and as I've said, the used car market is incredibly good right now. So dig deep, find your £65,000 and go and grab yourself a bargain.